Speaking of people who are bad at their jobs and just not good, let's talk about Nathan Wade for a moment. Now, if you don't know Nathan Wade, you need to know Nathan Wade because he is the guy who had the thing with Fannie Willis down in Fulton County, Georgia. We go back to Georgia again. Okay, so Nathan Wade was married, had a family, and was getting paid a lot of money by Fannie Willis via the taxpayers of Fulton County. So he made like nearly $700,000, according to Ashley Merchant, who revealed all this courtesy of the ex-wife, right? That thing was going down at the same time that Fannie and Nathan Wade were going after Donald Trump. And so Ashley, rightly so, made the point, how can you be going after Donald Trump when Fannie Willis, you shouldn't even have the job in the first place? So that case has now become a thing. And that's where you need your forensic accounting. They can team up with the ex-wife. They're going to get in there and just figure out exactly what was going on. So part of the issue now becomes, when did the relationship start? In other words, did she hire her boyfriend and maybe work out some kind of deal where she got a little something on the side monetarily? Or did they just have this office romance as they try to suggest? Well, this came up in a recent CNN interview. And in this interview, the reporter asked Nathan Wade, by the way, why is he doing all these interviews? Serious question. Why do we need to hear from Nathan Wade at all? Why can't he just go quietly away? Is he trying to get a CNN gig? What is this about? Unless it's about spinning a narrative that somehow the relationship happened on the job as opposed to beforehand, because he knows when he goes to court, if she went out and specifically hired the beau, then it actually presents a new set of legal challenges and hurdles, right? So that may be partly what this is about. And he's trying to influence public opinion however he can. I don't know. But for some reason, CNN actually wants to interview him. Go figure. Go figure. Anyway, let's take a look. He like flipped out and walked out on this interview when the reporter asked a kind of important question.
Just to clarify, when did the romantic relationship between the two of you start?
Yeah, so you know, we get into, there's been this effort to say that, okay, these exact dates are at issue, and these exact dates are, I'm getting signaled here.
Look at this. His handlers jump in.
Yes. Okay.
He's got a media consultant there. They're interrupting the interview. He walks off the set. The reporter just sits there. He can't continue. And the amazing thing is that CNN actually showed you all this, because often what they do is they just cut this part out. But here he is talking to Nathan Wade, probably telling him, you got to be really, really careful how you handle this question, because you're going to be in legal jeopardy. So now he's coming back, really weird moment. And the reporter's like, okay, can we start again?
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Just to revisit the question, it was to clarify when the romantic relationship started and when it ended.
Sure. So, you know, I believe that the public has, through the testimony and other interviews, the public has a clear snapshot that this is clearly just a distraction. It is not a relevant issue in this case, and I think that we should be focusing on more of the facts and the indictment in the case.
Well,
so in other words, you need to focus on the facts. You need to focus on Trump. You need to focus on the indictment. What are you doing asking me about Fannie? I'm not going to answer that question. By the way, he's not a very good lawyer. Can we just get that out there? He's clearly not a good lawyer, you guys, because he ought to know instinctively the trouble he's in. He ought to just not answer certain questions. He ought to be able to be skilled enough verbally to be able to figure his way out and around that, and then have said something clever. This is what politicians do all the time, right? It's so darn annoying. They don't actually answer the question. They give you a bunch of garbage and move on. But Nathan Wade is not smart enough to do that. I'll tell you, the Democrat Party's over this too. They are just over Fannie. They are over Nathan. I believe the quote in Newsweek just the other day was, Fannie blew it. Yeah, that was the headline. I showed it to you. It was unbelievable. It was great. But you know who else blew it? Nathan Wade. Big time.